My name is Bret Giles. I'm a professor of practice here at ASU. I've been with ASU for a little over 14 years now. I teach creating digital experiences, which is a digital class that actually I created 14 years ago on campus. I teach a class called Innovations in Marketing, which is a class focused in artificial intelligence, blockchain, Internet of Things, technology, things along those lines. And then I teach a class called Digital Media Marketing, which is focused on the media side of digital and how that interplays with all other aspects of media, etc. When I started teaching 14 years ago, I ran an ad agency, and the ad agency in town was focused 100% in the digital realm. So all we did was digital marketing. We would have students that would come and take part in we would hire them, they would join. And what we found was that they had great critical thinking skills. They had a whole skill set of which was very useful to them within the marketing capacity, but they didn't really understand digital marketing particularly well. So we started a media school basically as part of our ad agency. And from that media school, the local newspaper decided to write a little article, and that prompted the marketing department to get in contact with me and say, hey, what do you think about maybe starting a class on digital marketing specifically for ASU? So that's how this kind of came to be, which was literally a decade and a half ago now, which is kind of hard to think about. The class has morphed since then, but the crux of it is really centered around how to, if we look at the highest layer, how to look at a customer experience, how to take that customer experience down to the digital level and make it be the best possible experience it can be through all the different screens that people interact with online. So the class is really about how do I take human-centered design to build out the best possible user experience a person can have with a brand when they're in the digital realm. The idea behind, I am an entrepreneur because I started the agency in 1999, and we actually created a bunch of different agencies off that one agency, and actually built a few product companies as well along the way. So in the heart of this class is embedded a lot of things that would be of use to someone that's focused in an entrepreneurial environment. Most notably, digital marketing is one of the most measurable ways to get started. And when you look at a lot of entrepreneurs, the way that they get started is through digital marketing. They build out a whole approach that's focused mainly in trying to figure out how to get people into the top of their funnel and drive people through to actually buy something. And every step along the way is what we do within digital marketing. So the way I actually teach is I teach through that marketing funnel and how you drive people into become aware of your brand, and then ultimately purchase your brand, and then what you should do after that, and how you measure all of those things after the fact. While it's a marketing class per se, it's very much aligned with how entrepreneurs might think. We talk in language that's very similar to how an entrepreneur might look to try to grow a business. And I spend in one of my classes quite a bit of time in what we call growth marketing. So it's all about, if growth is your North Star and all you're trying to do is grow maybe top line revenue, maybe it's profit, whatever, but you have a very strong focus on growth. How do you drive that growth? And then how do you measure against that growth?
Along that journey, what qualities have you discovered that every entrepreneur should possess?
One thing is they should be very willing to tolerate ambiguous situations. We are constantly bombarded with new technology, with societal changes, with changes to something that's working one day and it's doing wonders for you, particularly maybe in a marketing capacity, and then a week later suddenly it's not working anymore. There are all these situations that sometimes we just can't unravel why they are happening the way they're happening. We have to be willing to accept the fact that, okay, what was working in the past might not be working in the future, and be willing to adapt really quickly, test new things, and try new things. So to me, an entrepreneur is someone who can lead a group of people through change in a positive way. And when you look at that change, and when you look at those obstacles, you are able to kind of turn them in your mind as these opportunities for success. Finally, I would say someone who's a very good listener. It's really easy to talk. It's a lot harder to listen and to try to understand true needs that people really have, and not talk over them, but to figure out, am I really addressing a need that a group of people have, and if I am, are they willing to pay for the fact that I can address that need for them maybe better than anybody else can? If they're not willing to pay for it, or if I'm not really addressing a true need, then I'm better off kind of quitting before I get started and move on to the next idea.
Now I kind of want to talk about your personal entrepreneurial experience.
Okay.
What's been your favorite thing so far about being an entrepreneur?
I guess my favorite thing is you get to meet all kinds of interesting people along the way, and you get to share in experiences, and you get to learn from other people unlike the way you would in a corporate environment. So I come from a corporate environment. I worked in a corporate environment for many years before I started my own companies. And to me, the biggest difference was the sense of kind of, we have a group of people that we've assembled together, and they're all working for this one common goal, and we're really into it, and we have this huge passion toward it, and we really believe in what we're doing. And it's harder to find that when you get into a corporate sort of an environment. It's not that it's bad or anything. I actually enjoyed working in that, but I loved the excitement, the vigor, the challenge, the waking up every day and having something new, quote unquote, going wrong and trying to figure out how to resolve it. That was completely exciting for me. So the fact that there's all these new things to do each and every day is what makes being an entrepreneur really fun. It's the ability for other people to kind of see your vision and get excited about your vision and be part of that vision, and then feel like they're 100% invested and that you are excited about anything that they might be trying to do, whether they be another entrepreneur or they're actually a part of your team. It doesn't really matter. Like if they're on my team, if we've gone and we have a group of 5 people that are working together towards some common goal, it's so fun to be able to do that when you can pivot and move around really quickly and try new things and see if they work and then pivot to something else if they don't.
So can you talk about the importance of digital marketing that you found in the context of some of your ventures?
Digital marketing as a whole and really encompasses a whole bunch of stuff now, right? I mean, when I first started teaching digital marketing and when I first started employing digital marketing in my ventures, it was truly something that was kind of distinct and sat over here. As time has worn on and almost everything that we do is digital in nature, almost all marketing in some way, shape, or form is digital. So if you don't understand how to be smart in a digital capacity, then you're really not going to do well in marketing at all, because most of what we do is toward that effort. The thing that I particularly like about this new era of marketing, or this digital era of marketing, is that we can measure a heck of a lot of stuff. So I can tell how things are going, and I can make changes that impact that very quickly. Whether I use AI to help me with that and I try to automate things, or I use humans to do that and I don't automate things, I can test many things all at the same time, look for trends, figure out what's working well, what's not working so well, and make changes very quickly. So from a digital marketing perspective, one of the things that I think about this digital era of marketing is that it really enables people to be very nimble and move very quickly, and if they're smart about it, to take those learnings and quickly change things around in the next time, whatever the next time would be, to do them better and better again. So a good entrepreneur that understands digital marketing is going to be in there every day looking at metrics, and they're going to have identified whatever it is, 4, 5, 6 key metrics, and they're going to look at those key metrics every day, maybe even more than every day, and see where trend lines are going, and identify really early on that, wow, this was going pretty well, now it's not, what's happening, and try to dissect that and figure out what they might do to make a change there so that it will work. And there are some key metrics that everyone, if you're offering a subscription, that's going to be a little bit different than if you're an e-commerce site, than if you're a site that's looking for leads and you're going to close the sale offline or something like that. They're all a little bit different, but they all have these metrics. And if you really the whole idea around digital is it enables us to kind of look into high performers, look into low performers, try to weed out the low performers, get rid of them, keep the high performers going. Think about that compared to more traditional marketing and advertising opportunities that we had, TV, radio, print, magazines, newspapers, things like that. How can you tell what is working and what's not working? If I put $5,000 in newspaper ad, how do I know how many people did anything as a result of it? It's very hard to figure out. Now, in theory, we should know what people are doing. We should be able to try to move more emphasis on the things that are actually working.
What advice would you give to someone just starting off in their business journey?
Don't go too fast, I think would be my advice. It's like you have to understand your customer really, really well. I would spend a ton of energy getting to understand who the customer is. I would build out a persona that I think is the customer. Then I go try to find those people and talk to them and see if they really have the problems that I think they have, if they really need the solution that I have to offer them. And if they don't, then I would make changes, then I would pivot. Like the lack of understanding of your customer to me is like if I don't, I would call that like upstream marketing. If I don't understand who I'm trying to help, then how can I possibly help them? And I just feel like that gets missed all the time. When I think about failure rates with restaurants, just as an example, they're incredibly high. And it's because restaurant owners don't go out and try to understand the market. And in many instances, we're taught, especially as entrepreneurs, we're taught to like try to hold everything secret. We want you to sign an NDA, and we want you know, like this, we put all this false pretense around the fact that this is all secret and no one can know our idea. And if we do that, we will learn nothing. So we have to flip the narrative to where it's like, no, I am going to spend a lot of time getting to know my customer. I am going to ask them questions. I am going to let them know what I'm thinking of doing. And that is going to drive superior product or service, whatever it is you're ultimately trying to do as an entrepreneur. I teach Marketing 385. These are the current course numbers. Marketing 385, Digital Media Marketing. I teach Marketing 440, which is creating digital experiences. And I teach Marketing 412, which is innovations in marketing.